Well, jeepers! You're listening to Smash or Pass.
Hey everyone, welcome to another video on the JayBee
Hey.
and Milly channel. Today is our last review before Christmas. So, I guess, for all we've got the videos going out, Happy Christmas everybody. If you celebrate Christmas, of course.
Yeah, and if you don't celebrate Christmas...
Happy
winter.
winter.
There's just no excuse, really.
JayBee, you can't say that.
So, I've got a Jewish dad and a Hindu mum, or a Sikh mum. And I myself have no religion, but I celebrate Christmas. So really, there's no excuse. Just get on it. I'm just kidding. But I think it's going to be a good time. I think we've already celebrated Jewish New Year at this point. So shalom to all of our Jewish listeners. And, it's just great. There's a lot of things to celebrate. I'm a big fan of all types of celebrations. Like, oh my God, Diwali. It's amazing. But yeah, we're getting closer to Christmas now, so let us know what you've asked Santa for this year in the comment section down below. Or if you want to be a bit sneaky, let us know what you've bought someone that's maybe Scooby themed or maybe not. I don't know. I like hearing people's secrets, so do tell us.
Okay, JayBee, time for your last plot summary before Christmas.
I fell asleep during this episode. So I don't know what happened. I know that there's lots of suspects. There's disappearing cows and flying bulls. But we also know that it's about Daphne's uncle, who is a cowboy. So that's all you need to know about that. So yeehaw, let's solve another mystery, guys.
Okay, let's get into it. And again, similar to the last episode, this kicks off by seeing the villain, really, which is that big bull in the sky. What's your thoughts on that villain? Because you don't get much further from humanoid.
I don't know if this is... I don't know if this is a controversial opinion, but I actually really like it.
Me too!
It's just stupid, but it's like, you'd never have this in a serious setting. Like, imagine... You've got Mystery Incorporated fan series, Data Elsa and whatnot, then being serious plotline, and there's like a cow just flying around. You wouldn't do it. It wouldn't work for a lot of the other shows. But I think here it's so bizarre, but it reminds you of the lax nature of Saturday morning cartoons. Like, then and only then would you transport yourself into your younger self back to a time when you could be watching an episode and a flying bull is normal. Like, a flying bull is, oh yeah, oh gosh, that's what the gang are facing this episode. Like, it just reminded me of the ridiculous things that used to happen in cartoons when I was growing up, that maybe if I hadn't watched this episode before, I would have thought about it less fondly. But for me, it reminds me of simpler times where you could just go on the TV and you don't need to try and criticize something or pull it apart. It's just, hey, flying bull, let's deal with it. So I like it.
Okay, good. I agree with you. It's a really good villain. Okay, and everyone arrives at the ranch where we meet a few characters. There's Matt and Sam, and I think a couple of others as well. There's the chef there. They introduce quite a lot of characters all at once, and it does kind of a bit link back to the conversation we had in our last review. It's all that kind of generic middle-aged white men.
Well, and again, I think I'll double down on the point I was making. I think that in and of itself wasn't bad. It was just they were all dressed so similarly. And this isn't to disparage the work that voice actors do, but I do find that they either reused voice actors so frequently for budget reasons or something else. They all tend to sound quite similar as well. And I think speaking to Neil Ross, maybe a part of this was because a lot of the voice actors back then came from the radio, and one of the main criticisms that they got given at that early stage was that they were speaking not like they were playing characters, but like they were presenting some type of thing. And I think that's what comes across in episodes like this. They all kind of, apart from like the really good ones, obviously, like Frank Welker, Casey Kasem, they're going to be distinct from the other characters just because they're them. But maybe less seasoned voice actors at this point would have gone to, and this is happening, and that's happening, and that's happening, and that was the kind of default. So I think it fails as like a timepiece, like it's aged badly. Whereas, like, now I think they're doing more justice because there's just so many voice actors to choose from. It's just,
Yeah.
I don't think I can overly penalise it, but there is definitely stuff that they could have done to make it easier to differentiate.
Okay. And at this point as well, it picks up on a conversation we're having a couple of reviews ago as well. Somebody says that Mr. Blake's balls are gone. So not only does that tell us a bit about the plot, but also Mr. Blake. Because we were talking about at what stage we learned the gang's full names and why it was Uncle Shagworthy, whereas here you do have Mr. Blake.
It's cool that they've lumped some backstory here. It's just, it is a weird choice because they're clearly world building in this series. So we have Scooby Doo, who is a relative of Scooby. We have Shagsworthy, who's a relative of Shaggy. Mr. Blake, who's a relative of Daphne. It's like they want us to care more about the world that they're in, but it's like, I can almost see the writers potentially being a bit frustrated that it has to be so serialized and episodic versus, you know, a Mystery Incorporated where they
continuity.
could... Yeah.
What?
No, it's just your accent. I heard something else for a minute there.
What, than continuity?
Yeah. Yeah, let's not dwell on it, because I got really scared there. I heard something. Yeah. Okay, well, no, it's good. Question. What in all that is holy is a bumster?
Not a clue.
Because that sounds kind of naughty to me. A bumster. Let me Google it. Okay. A piece of false information or unhelpful guidance. And the it says a large numbers of kids are getting a bum steer in life. What does a bum steer mean in the UK? False or misleading information or advice. So it's just lies, basically. Yeah. That's what a bum steer is. Doesn't bum mean something different in America anyway?
Well, a steer also means like a bull.
Really?
I believe so.
I did not know that. Well, you're the farmer.
Let me check I've got this.
I'll defer to you. That's so interesting, because that would be a double meaning, like a false bull for Scooby. Oh, wow. A bum. So, oh gosh, I don't want to get demonetized. So a fanny pack and a bum bag are the same thing, but obviously...
Yeah, that bum.
That's mad, you know. So a steer, so a fake bull. Oh, that's actually oddly satisfying, you know. Huh, yeah. Probably common knowledge, but I can't remember which one bum is. Is bum rude in America? Because a fanny pack is... But do we say bum bag or do we say fanny pack?
We say bum bag.
Because fanny's something else?
Yes.
And... what do Americans think of bum?
Everyone says their own things. Like in Australia, flip-flops are thongs.
Or thongs?
Yep.
Okay, I'll leave my comment to myself. So yeah, you continue now. I'm...
Okay, so I feel like we're pretty much at the stage where there's stuff happening and Daphne's uncle disappears from the car with Scooby and Shaggy.
Yeah, when they're going into a cave.
And this all leads to discovering a hidden valley with a witch doctor looking thing that for me is very reminiscent of a Where Are You episode. Is it Where Are You I'm thinking of?
I believe so.
What's
There's
the
a couple like it. There's one, I think the one that it reminded me of is Decoy for a... See, I don't even know if it is Decoy for a Dog Napper. It's the one that starts with Scooby kind of getting the hots for a little white dog, and then it gets taken, and that kind of Indian is the one that's selling the dogs.
Yeah.
But it's also, I think it's also the one where Geronimo kind of runs past the mystery machine doing, hey,
You've got the episode that I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it's very reminiscent of that.
What about that? See, that's grounds to be cancelled if I didn't have Indian heritage.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I agree. And to be honest, I feel like this Indian doctor thing, design-wise it's distinct enough, but storyline it isn't. And it's a shame because I actually like the design of this. I think it's okay. What did you think about the design of that kind of Indian
It's a good
doctor?
design, but I kind of think that it takes away from the bull in the sky. Like, for me, that was good enough. We don't need to overcomplicate things.
Yeah.
The villains exist well on their own. There's nothing that ties them together.
The thing is, though, I don't know how they would have done it back then, but in order to wrap it up satisfyingly, I guess you could do the unmasking and then someone could talk, but how much can a bull do just flying around?
Okay, so link it better. Like, make it a cowboy with a scarf across his face. Like, make it something relevant to a bull.
But then it's a human... Oh, maybe, actually. But then... Yeah.
You can't say,
you've
but
got
then
good
it's
episodes.
a human.
Yeah, you've got...
Because you're saying, this is a human with a mask, and you're saying you like it.
Yeah, you've got good ideas. Why did they have an Indian? I guess, could they be like a cattle rustler? I don't know. I'm thinking of Slim from... Not the Slim you know. Slim from... What's that movie called? Home on the Range. Did you ever watch it?
No.
One day we're watching it, please. His name's Slim, but he's morbidly obese. And his superpower is that when he yodels... like bulls and cows in the nearby area get enchanted by it. No, come on. It's actually really fun. So, yeah, yes, that's it. Literally, if you've seen Home on the Range, the villain in this episode should have been like a ghost version of Slim. Oh, see, you know what? Warner Brothers, they're doing bad stuff at the moment, right? But I think they would be redeemed if they hired you to do some of the stories.
You too, JB.
Me? No, I'd have like Daphne episodes.
Okay, for me, I don't have many more notes on this. Like,
no, my notes end abruptly.
They get separated in the town. They then come back together, and it's all revealed that it was Sam and Lenny from a different farm who were changing the print on a bull from an S to a double O.
Sam and Lenny? Is that legit? Not some obscure of Mice and Men reference.
I've put was Sam and Lenny.
Oh, no, it isn't even Sam, it's Jordan Lenny, isn't it?
Yeah.
All I've written, which seems contrary to what you said, is so for once the disappeared person isn't the ultimate villain. I almost read that as the disabled person.
Yes,
though.
because it wasn't the uncle, Daphne's uncle, and he was the one that went missing.
Was that ever in doubt, though?
No, of course not.
Oh, well. Well, there we have a bum stick for Scooby Doo. And I feel like I ultimately do need to pass this for the moment, purely for the fact that I was a bit of a poo-poo head and fell asleep. And I think if I loved the episode, I wouldn't have fallen asleep. But I am going to be rewatching it. Hopefully by the time the kind of end of season Q&A or whatever we end up doing goes out. And maybe I'll give like an update on what I thought about it then. But for now, I can't fall asleep in the episode and then say, oh yeah, it was really good, I'm going to smash it. So maybe it's a default pass, but it's a pass nonetheless. What about for you? Is this a smash or is this steer poo?
No, for me it was still a smash. I really like the villain. I really like the premise. I really like the explanation at the end, how they changed the signs and stuff. Yeah, it's a smash.
I would like to have seen, based on story and characters, the first Cowgirl Daphne in this episode. That would have been great. Because she could have had that empowering moment where she lassoed the bull from the sky and pulled it down and unmasked it. That's what What's New or Something would have done. So, yeah, that's my plan. That's my contribution. So, yeah. This is Friday's episode, right?
Friday the 23rd of December.
So because we are going away briefly, we're not in a position where we can give like the most up-to-date community news. But of course, as I say, I'll always have this announcement. We are going to have an interview going out tomorrow. It's going to be announced today.
Which is our Christmas Eve interview.
Oh God, don't tell me that. So, yeah, please do stick around for it because there's some really cool stuff that's kind of in the pipeline. And, of course, the interviews are amazing. We can't wait to do more of them. And the support that we're getting on them lately is absolutely incredible. So thank you so much for that. And, of course, keep an eye on for more content. Of course, with it being closer and closer to Christmas, we're starting to wrap down some of our Christmas content. But hopefully looking forward to some New Year's stuff. So yeah, if you do want to hear that, then please like, comment, and subscribe.
JayBee and Milly.